moon cast shadows upon the land, both old and new, known and unknown. Everything that was and is basks in the light of celestial titans. Stars fade to pinpricks in the distance. What have they seen? What do they know? No one can say for certain. It's that special time of day, and here we are once again. Here we are once again. Here we are. What comes next? No one can say for certain. Now let's start the show. Good evening and welcome. How are you all feeling? Better? I hope so. The last few months have been long and hard for many of us. But it seems like things are finally starting to look up. Summer is in the air, days are longer, and life is vibrant and colorful once again. Personally, I feel a lot better. I've been outside more, and it's made a huge difference. All around, I see bright faces, relaxing lights, and a gentle ease just everywhere. Just today, I stopped by at Della's bakery, and Yusuf, who is Stella's brother and works the front counter, was only crying a little bit. We're all in a better place now. So with all that being said, why don't we take our good mood and transfer it over into a look at the news? Catacombs have recently been discovered in the giant chasm that opened up beneath the Dreamcore district over on Velvet Road. Wait, I should probably back that story up a little. We're missing a few things. So, a chasm opened up on Velvet Road down in the Dreamcore district. Wait, no. Still not far enough. One more step. So here's some news. We now have a Dreamcore district. After a few months of confusion and frustration and what can only be described as citywide burnout, the layout and organization of our living situation has been rearranged to make a little more sense for those of us trying to navigate the streets. One of these additions is the Dreamcore district, which is named for its strange yet comforting aura. Nothing feels completely real there, especially at night. It's hard to explain if you haven't experienced it for yourself. The streetlights are all this fuzzy, glowing purple, and the air smells like cinnamon. And you just feel comforted, and yet sad for some reason you can't fully understand. There are a few faces moved in, and they say they enjoy it. Housing is cozy and well-spaced. There's a blue arcade that is somehow both brand new and yet completely abandoned. And the cosmonaut is reading tarot cards to anyone interested in the local laundromat there. Yep, overall, it's a great place to be if you can handle the silence. In the last couple of months, a strange glowing crack ripped through the intersection of Velvet and Rainbow. This actually happened about a month ago. I just forgot to report on it. Like how I forgot to report on the finishing of the Dreamcore district. Sorry about that. It's been really busy lately. I've had a lot of things going on, just a lot of stressors, and I've been feeling overwhelmed and confused, and well, things have fallen through the cracks. I know that's not really an excuse, but it's the truth. We do the best we can, and sometimes we fall short. But that's okay, because we're catching up right now, and we are moving forward. So, about a month ago or so, strange cracks were blocking the road, and then eventually that collapsed into a full-blown hole. This hole later grew into a chasm, which needed to be blocked off until a safety crew could be organized to excavate and see what's there. Well, things have been excavated, and we now know that there are catacombs underneath. Nothing creepy or made out of bones, just ancient marble stone and columns that hold flower-like torches that glisten with a strange pink light. This has been a hotbed for experts of all historical types to explore and uncover the history that lies within. Dozens of archaeologists and anthropology enthusiasts have been excitedly digging from room to room, tunnel and tunnel, skipping with joy and clicking their heels together. When asked about their disposition and if they found anything, reporters were only spun around in a circle while the gleeful researchers chanted, "Soon, soon, bring balloons, we're gonna announce it soon, and oh boy, it's gonna be a big one." So yeah, more on this subject as it develops. Recently, we've had a few concerned listeners write in asking about my former producer, Blaine, and what happened with their whole situation. That is a very complicated topic, and, well, there was a heated exchange between us. And for that, once again, I do apologize that parts of that unprofessional exchange unfortunately made it onto air. I'm sorry you all had to hear any of that. Don't worry, I've already apologized to the raccoons with pup cups and written apologies, and hopefully we can move past it. As for Blaine, well, they've been moved to the morning show with Rex Adams. Now, whether or not they actually manage to stay focused and on top of the actual work there will soon be determined. Rex is pretty busy these days with his own romantic thing going on, and, well, my thoughts on Blaine are well known. I just hope we can all put this past ourselves and move forward because I am tired of dealing with it. But all of that is in the past, and we are now moving forward to the future. So let's take a look at weather for today. A boisterous wind howls with resounding fear. The rooftops shiver and quake. Darkened clouds tell of a storm coming near. A change in the air softly prickles your ear. Shifting forces push and take. A boisterous wind howls with resounding fear. Trees dance at jolts of wild and thoughtless jeer, bending and twisting until they break. Darkened clouds tell of a storm coming near. Streaking bolts rip through the bludgeoning drear with the force that makes the whole world shake. A boisterous wind howls with resounding fear. Water bleeds from above, all crisp and clear, flooding all within its wake. Darkened clouds tell of a storm coming near. Rain pricks the windows with taps so dear. We're safe inside the home we make. A boisterous wind howls with resounding fear. Darkened clouds tell of a storm coming near. Looks like it's raining outside, and it's coming down pretty bad. Make sure you find shelter wherever you can. Hopefully this doesn't wash out the catacombs, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you ever think about art? It's a vast and complex thing. There's a lot of people who have spent a lot of words trying to describe what it is, what makes it good, and why any of that matters. Personally, I don't really get it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good mural, or a sculpture, or a painting just as much as the next person. But, I don't know, when it comes to the deep stuff, I don't really understand. I bring this up because I was talking to Michelle Michaels the other day. We were both in line at Della's Bakery and started up a conversation. You know, nothing serious, just a little catch-up type thing. I told her about the radio station and my black belt test and everything going on with me. Michelle, in turn, filled me in on all the details she's doing with her painting business, the art she's making, and this mural she's been commissioned to paint down Willow Way. I was really excited to hear it. A mural like that is so big for her. I thought she would be excited too. I mean, when I first met Michelle, she was running a laundromat and occasionally painting stuff as a side hobby. She never really thought it would go anywhere. But then people started taking notice of her work, things picked up, and she's living the dream. She's getting all these big and exciting opportunities to be the artist she always wanted to be. And yet, well, Michelle didn't look super excited about the whole mural thing or any of the stuff. She's doing fine. Still loves what she does, but it's just been hard lately. There's a whole mural waiting for her to paint. And normally she would be all over it, brainstorming different ideas, giving 1,000 different thoughts, but she's not. For whatever reason, Michelle just can't bring herself to work on it. None of her ideas feel good enough. Nothing seems to be professional enough. And she's tried and she's tried and she's gone back and forth, but nothing's working. And apparently she's having this problem with all the rest of her work too lately. According to her, it's almost like she's broken. It's like whatever exciting, fantastic, creative part of her that was responsible for making all the things that she loves broke. I wish I could say I know how she feels, but honestly, I don't see it. I still really love Michelle's work. The little art cards she puts out are iconic and amazing, and her newer stuff has been super fun. I think she's a fantastic artist who makes a lot of great things and brings a lot of joy to the community. But Michelle just doesn't see it. All her best work means nothing to her. It all feels hollow, empty, meaningless. So yeah, what is art? What makes it good? Why does any of it matter? Personally, I don't know. I really don't know. But if you have any ideas, well, go talk to Michelle. She could use a friend right now. We have an update on the Catacombs. After gleefully hinting about what they found, the panel of our city's best archaeologists and anthropology enthusiasts have released details about their findings. There was an ancient crown, half a merry-go-round, which is interesting because the rest of the catacombs seem to be a lot older than the invention of the merry-go-round, and the burnt-out remains of a rainbow door that we are not going to be talking about at all for reasons I will not go into. One thing of note that was found was a leather-bound book, simple, decorated with a singular strange mark in the center of the cover. This book was found in a separate chamber that looked like it was used as a bedroom of sorts. This hypothesis was mostly fueled by the amount of blankets and fluffy pillows that were found on a bed-type shape in the room. It was an interesting chamber, cozy, inviting, unlike the rest of the catacombs. The remains of withered plants beamed in old flower boxes. Furniture was arranged neatly, and there was a portrait on the wall depicting a graceful woman with fiery red hair and a man who was tall, with dark curls and eyes made gentle from years of suffering. Archaeologists believe this room was used in the early days of the city. Not just the early days, the early days. Before the foundation of what we now know to be our city was ever laid. The architecture and designs draw back to an early period. The books offer clues into this history. It seems to be a mix of journal and a record of fantastical quirks of some place called Reverie. Reverie? However you say that. What any of this has to do with the city will be determined in due time. For now, it's an exciting development, to be sure. I'm interested to see where any of this is going, especially now since I don't have to rip fantastic pieces of history away from the proper researchers to do my own deep dive. Good times. We'll update you as soon as we know more. But for now, here's a poem. Crumbling down through trusted sod, the ground went deeper than I thought. Snared, entangled, reaching down, till there's nothing left to make a sound. Dead, collapsed, put in the grave. Spectators gathered to rant and rave. Here lies what's left of that raggedy doll, left small and silent after standing so tall. Cries muffled as the dirt hits my head, fading words from things that were said, buried deeper and deeper in handfuls of dread, till there's nothing left but a forgotten dead. Interesting. And surprisingly enough, this one did not come from a mysterious envelope below the door. No, it seems our mysterious poem supplier has forgotten us in recent months. We haven't received a mysterious envelope, or a note with a threat, or anything of that matter. Our poem supply runneth dry, and so I had to actually go out and seek this one from the library. More accurately, I was talking to my friend Jeremy, who works down at the library, and apparently he's been writing poetry lately. This one he gave to me said something about writing on the outside, but the voices are screaming on the inside. So, yeah, poetry. Thanks again, Jeremy. On that note, Mike has stumbled into the office. As usual, he's dressed in his raccoon onesie, and now with a backpack on him. Only instead of holding letters, it's instead holding Darian's son, Meatball. Oh, you two look very adorable, Mike. Any letters or things for today? Yeah? All right then. Thank you. I'll take care of this right away. All right then. You all know the drill. I have a stack of letters in my hands. The raccoons are bustling around Mike in the break room, and we have words to read. So why don't we jump in and take a look at the letters for today? This first note is from Dr. Carlos Robles of the city's Astronomy and Scientific Exploration Foundation. He sent an interesting picture of the night sky from their observatory tower on the edge of town, and also a little note. The sky sparkles bright. Strange lights flicker overhead. Something is coming. Interesting find, almost ominous, in a way. As a journalist, I'll probably have to look into this later. Do some research, ask questions, dig into stuff. That's a lot of work. I'm not used to this. Normally, Blaine was the one to do all the digging around work, but now it's just me. Wow. I kind of miss the way they would dig into things. It was annoying when it caused danger, but it was also super helpful. Oh well. I guess I'm just going to have to figure things out. Hopefully my research won't be as dangerous as theirs. Moving on to the next letter, we have a small painting from our friend Michelle Michaels. That's so exciting. I'm glad she's feeling better. We used to do so many little pictures back in the day from her. I still have several of them hanging up on the wall. There's that lovely landscape, the abstract city scene, and all the paintings of Darian dressed up like various things. It's always a delight. So let's see what she has in store for us today. Oh. Well. Let's move on to something else. Ooh, here we are. I have a fancy note from the Wisteria Institute. Now, I'm not completely sure about what the Wisteria Institute does, but they do have a very nice building. Super big walls surrounding a mostly white and featureless compound. All of this out on the edge of the city, over near Old Town, away from people. Nice and quiet where no one could hear you scream. Also, this stationery is very nice. It's like a good weighty paper, embossed and everything. I like it. So let's see what it has to say. We're clearing it out. The catacombs are locked off. You are safe now. Wait, what? Hold on, I'm getting word now that several large white vans have circled around the catacombs. Archaeologists and other workers are being carted away as dozens of figures in suits seal off the entire area. They're putting up a sign and it's the Wisteria Institute. They're taking over the catacombs, but how? Why? What? I need to get more information on what's going on down there. Jeez, okay. Blaine's not around to figure this out, so we're gonna have to go with plan B. Okay, I can do this. I can make this work. While we're making it work, let's go to an ad break. Okay? Hear from you all soon. Mike, yes, over here, Mike. I need you to get the emergency trash bear catapults. We have a report down in the Dream Core district, and we need somebody on the scene, so strap a microphone to one of our garbage bears and launch it over there. No, Mike, there isn't time to argue. Come on. This is what we have the helmets, parachutes, and safety training for. The garbage bears can take it. Just hurry, Mike. Mike! Aren't you tired of being ignored? Aren't you tired of being trapped in the same position over and over and over again? It's exhausting to keep going. Don't you ever just want to break down? Don't you ever just want to burn it all to the ground? Rage sings the heart for words long overdue. Spill out the scars and burdens pursued, fallen from pillars of your heavenly view. Let's take a deep look at the ugly truth. How can a man see from the perch of his nose? You cover the bloodstains with heavenly clothes. Bury the suffering with your divine words. You're far from reality while drunk on your prose. Walk like a god in the shadow of man. Live your life preaching for some great I am. Run with the bit for as long as you can. The list keeps growing of all the people you damn. Rise on the backs of all the souls that you break. Preach your sermons of love while all you do is take. But it's all going to end for a reckoning's sake. The devil is real, and it's the villain you make. We know who you are. We see you. Not the you show the world, but the you hiding just beneath the surface. It fascinates us. It excites us. You are so beautiful. You are so dangerous. You are everything we want. Take off the mask. Embrace the rage. We have the tools you want. You know we have what you want. We'll be waiting. The Wisteria Institute. We'll be waiting. And welcome back, everyone. The garbage bears have scampered back to the office with several notes in their tiny hands. We've talked and discussed all the details of the current situation going on in the Dream Core district. From all of that, here's what we know. The Wisteria Institute has taken control of the Catacombs, and all the findings inside that go along with it. They're apparently able to do this because they filled out all the paperwork at City Hall and gave Darien enough dog treats to let them call dibs on the entire site. As such, they're taking over. It's theirs now. All the discoveries and relics and mysteries that have yet to be uncovered are for the Wisteria Institute to do with whatever they will. This has led to several grumpy archaeologists and a handful of fussy anthropologists. You know, it's funny. I never thought the Wisteria Institute would be interested in history. They've always been about science and psychology and lifestyle and something about black holes and quantum mechanics, or whatever you call that whole area. I never thought they'd be the history type. But here we are. They've already set up a series of massive tents over the whole area. It's impossible to see the catacombs now, and people aren't happy about that. I mean, it's easy to see why. We were all very excited to see the discoveries and everything going on. And now, sadly, that's being hoarded away, and there's not much we can do about it. There's not much anyone can do about it, really. So yeah, this is a bit of a downer. On the bright side, a few unnamed archaeologists did manage to sneak out with a thing or two, so yeah, more to come. And not just from whatever the Wisteria Institute is planning. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Dream Girl City is a production by N.J. Schulze. It was written, produced, and acted by N.J. Schulze. Poems featured today were The Devil's What You Make and Buried, both written by N.J. Schulze. Have a question, have a comment, have a poem that you would love to send in, because I could use something that isn't written by a sad art student trying to make it work. Email this and more to DreamGirlCityRadio@gmail.com, or check us out on social media. Thank you so much for all the support and help that you've given us over the last few months. I know we had to take a break there, but I was in the middle of finals, my brain was screaming, and it was chaos. But we're back on track now, and thank you so much for our support. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and just getting the word out about our podcast. We grow by word of mouth and everything you guys do. Thank you so much for everything, and until next time, just remember, things are changing, so let's get rearranging.
Jeez, what a mess. Alright, now how am I supposed to ask the Wisteria Institute for information? You know, I'm really starting to miss Blaine. I'd never tell them that, but... maybe I was too hard. Maybe. No. They still left me to die. I don't know.